Welcome to another episode of After School Kids Lab. Every Wednesday we post a new video of us doing something. It could be a craft, a science experiment, a game, or a skill. This week we are going to be making Unicorn Kinetic Sand. Here's some of the supplies you'll need for this project. The first thing you're going to need, obviously, is sand. Now you could have sand that is colorless, just white, like this sand, or you can have sand that's colored like this. To color the uncolored sand, we do have food coloring. So even if you get the plain sand with no color, you can add the color to it later. Another thing you're going to need is cornstarch, and this helps create the consistency that we want for our Unicorn Kinetic Sand. We're also going to be using dish soap and water. You're probably wondering why this is called Unicorn Kinetic Sand. That's because it contains magic unicorn sprinkles. Okay, maybe this is just glitter, but it's pretty awesome anyway. Also, just a fair warning, this craft can get very, very messy. Last of all, you're going to need measuring cups or spoons, 2 bowls, one for the dry ingredients and one for the wet ingredients, and a spoon for mixing. First, we're going to add 1 cup of sand. Also, this sand is very fine sand. It's actually crafting sand, which is often used for crafts, like this one. It would be different than the sand you might put, say, out in your sand pit at home. Okay, we're gonna add in the 1 cup. Are you ready? Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And we've used cornstarch many times before in After School Kids Lab. You know it can get very messy. Next, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of magic unicorn sprinkles. Glitter. Next, we're going to prepare our wet mixture. We're going to start with 1 tablespoon of water. Then we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of dish soap. And this is antibacterial, so it will help keep the bacteria out of our sand, so it doesn't go bad.
Sand.
Next, we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of our food coloring. Let's see how many drops it is. It ended up being about 20 drops of food coloring. Also, neon colors work the best for this particular craft. First, I'm gonna mix my wet mixture together, and we're gonna try not to get it to bubble too much as we do this. We just want it to be fully mixed together though. Then you can add your wet mixture to your dry ingredients. Does that look cool? And last of all, we're going to stir our ingredients together. When your ingredients are all mixed together, the texture of your sand should kind of be like if you were going to build a castle with it. It should be a little bit moldable. So if it's not there yet, you can add a tablespoon of water at a time, mix it in until you get the right consistency. Now we're done with 1 batch. We're going to do a few more, repeating the process with some different colors so that we can mix them together.
We ended up making 4 batches of Unicorn Kinetic Sand in various colors. The fun part is being able to mix the different colors together to get a rainbow of color, much like you'd see on a unicorn. You can store your Unicorn Kinetic Sand in an airtight container or bag, but it won't last forever. If your mixture smells musty, it's time to throw it out. So, it's time for me to ask you some questions. After all, this is After School Kids, or Ask Lab. Did you notice anything interesting about Unicorn Kinetic Sand? My helper realized that after a while, the colors blend together, making more of a solid color. In this case, purple. You may create different colors depending on what colors you choose for your sand. Also, did you discover any cool ways to play with kinetic sand? My helper and I brought out sand toys to sculpt, scoop, and rake the sand. The reason it's called kinetic sand, by the way, is because it can hold a shape for a while, but eventually the sand will flatten or move out of its shape. The word kinetic refers to motion in objects. Let us know the answer to these questions by sharing a comment, photo, or video on our Facebook page. And don't forget to click the like button if you liked this video. We love to hear from all of our After School Kids Lab viewers.
We hope you enjoy making Unicorn Kinetic Sand. Next week, we are going to be making an origami narwhal. That's another creature with one horn. Until then, bye!